are we doing today? I hope you're doing very well. For me, it has been an interesting day trying to fight against video copyrights with YouTube. I haven't been successful. It has been very frustrating. So, yes, my next video for YouTube on Jurassic Park is delayed, unfortunately, and have been editing, re-editing, uploading, disputing, you name it, I've done it many times. Anyway, so currently I have 4 videos for Jurassic Park under copyright issues with YouTube. Hopefully something comes out of it. But while that happens, I thought, you know, when I was young, I have gone to the cinema very few times, very few times. And those times when we used to go watch a movie, let's say the movie is about 3 hours, usually 2.5, 3 hours, there used to be an interlude, like an intermission. It goes as an intermission. So exactly at the halfway point of the movie, they in the screen it comes intermission, lights come up, and then people just go about, and there is the shops outside that you can actually, like shops within the cinema itself, that you can buy ice cream and snacks and stuff and then eat. I fully remember that all the time we used to eat this ice cream, like it's a huge block of ice cream, so it's vanilla ice cream inside and chocolate coated outside. So, while waiting for my YouTube copyright clearance for Jurassic Park video, this is an intermission, a food intermission. This is because I know it's very odd for a channel which is doing movie reactions. I have shared a few community posts on the food that I eat here and there. It's because it's another passion of mine, obviously. I love to cook, and mostly I like to cook for others. When the others enjoy it, it's really nice. So, and there have been good reception. Some of you have asked for the recipes and things like that. So I just wanted to share with you something. Actually, this is not something I have posted on community posts. This is something new. This is what I had for lunch today. So here's a picture. I'm not going to go through each and every one of those dishes. So some of them are very straightforward, because there is fish, the small grilled fish that I grilled, and then there is this green one that actually is considered very healthy in my culture. So we make this green salad. So I do not think that you can find this green as much away from where I am from. Like in the US, it'll be difficult. And because most of you are from the US and the western part of the world, I think it will be difficult to find them. So how we eat a lot of these greens is usually we just chop it finely. And because we eat greens, this has been in the culture for hundreds and hundreds of years. We believe in order to absorb the vitamins, especially the iron that you get from these greens, you need to have a bit of something acidic. So we squeeze a lime, we add some salt, and also we add grated coconut. So coconut is supposed to help you with the digestion because it has good fat. So we eat a lot of coconut. Actually, coconut is there in everything, almost everything we eat. So that's the salad. But I wanted to talk about the yellow one that you're saying. I do not know whether any of you can really recognize what it is. I know it looks like a bit of a potato-y thing, but it's not. So it is called tapioca. I'm sharing this because I know tapioca, which is cassava, is a thing in South America. So most of you must be getting it in US as well, in certain parts. And this is a tapioca. Yeah, in a way it's a curry, but it's really creamy. So I'll just share with you how I actually made it, because it's something that I used to enjoy when I was young, and I have not had it in the past, I think over a decade, and I do not know why, because I couldn't get the ingredient where I'm living anyway. but I never did. And when I made it today, I'm like, oh, this tastes so good. This tastes really good. Why didn't I make it? But so I just wanted to share with you. Maybe some of you can actually make it. I'll try to insert a picture what tapioca looks like for those of you who do not know what it is. And so what you do is, I'm just going to look at the picture, my desktop here, so I know what I'm talking about. Sorry if I'm looking down, so I'm actually looking at the screen to see what I'm talking about. So what you do is you actually peel the tapioca and cut it into a few pieces. So the tapioca can be like, let's go for 500 grams. For those of you in US, for those of you in the US, I think it'll be about a pound, 453 grams. It's a pound, if I'm not mistaken. So what you do is you peel it off, wash it, and chop it into pieces. Like I said, I did not intend to do a video on cooking this one. And it turned out to be really great. And it turned out that I'm not getting this YouTube thing sorted today, but I wanted to share with you something rather than the channel dying. This is a very small new channel, so I just wanted to share with you something. Maybe some of you will find it interesting. I don't know, some of you will like, "Oh, what the hell is she even sharing?" But anyway, so what I do is I cut it into pieces, and ideally this is best cooked when it's in a clay pot, as I've shown here. I'll show you what the clay pot actually looks like. It's very cute. I only have one like that. So you cut it and put it into a clay pot, and to that you cut, like, let's say 2 or 3 green chilies. So these are not these are not the spicy like jalapeno or spicy ones, non-spicy green chilies. And it's non-spicy as in it has a slight spice level, but that you can actually eat by, I think anyone can manage to eat without having to sweat off. So you put a few green chilies, and then you put a few pieces of pandan leaves, a sprig of curry leaves, and then you chop let's say like a small onion, whatever the onion you get, orange, yellow, red, either one is fine. Red is obviously more flavorful than the other two. So a medium-sized onion, you slice it and put it in there. So all goes in one go, and you put salt. So salt is to your taste. I would say start with about about a teaspoon, and then if you want to, eventually you can adjust it later on. And then to that you add a little piece of cinnamon, and maybe about half a teaspoon of turmeric. I think you can get turmeric powder anywhere in the world. And you need about half a teaspoon. Actually, I think turmeric is about 1 teaspoon. Do not go overboard with turmeric because it can give you an overpowering taste eventually, even though turmeric can be a very neutral flavor, but if you go overboard with it, it can have a funny taste. So maybe a little less than a teaspoon of turmeric, and then you put about half a teaspoon of curry powder. So the one we use is a bit different, but actually I think you can use the Indian curry powder. It should be fine. What is that one called? The garam masala. It's from India. I think that's the most popular curry powder everywhere. The Chinese curry powder will be different, the 5 spice, so not that one. But I think in Indian one should be fine. It's just a half a teaspoon. So you put 1 cup of thin coconut milk. You may ask, what do you mean by thin coconut milk? So coconut milk can be made thick or thin. So thick means to the grated coconut, if you are making from the fresh one, you put a bit of water to a lot of grated coconut, and then the milk that you get is quite thick. It's fatty, and you can feel the thickness. Then when you pour more water into it and you water it down, it becomes a thin coconut milk. But for me, I do not get the fresh one. What I do is I get the coconut milk, the cream kind of coconut, and then I just like add 1.5 tablespoons to 1 cup of water, and then you put it or pour it over to the ingredients we have just added to the clay pot, and then you let it simmer. Cover the top, let it simmer for about 15-20 minutes. So throughout the time, just make sure that you just stir it up here and there, because this is a type of a yam. This is root vegetable, so it has a lot of starch, and if you do not stir it up, it can actually clump up together. So just to make sure that they are separated, just stir here and there, and then just keep an eye for about 20 minutes. The tapioca will start becoming soft and the water will start going down. And then once that happens, you can now add another cup. It depends on how much gravy you would like to have. Another cup or half a cup of thick coconut milk. So thick one is obviously more coconut cream in with a half cup of water or 1 cup of water. So let's say you are going to add 1 cup of coconut milk. So in that case, add about 2 or 2.5 tablespoons of coconut cream to 1 cup of water. Then you can have a thick coconut milk. So then you add that and leave the lid open and slowly simmer it again until it will start becoming really creamy. I'm just inserting a picture here. You can see how creamy it looks. It looks super creamy with the starch coming out from the tapioca, and it's coming to be super creamy. So while that is happening, what you can do in a small pan, as I've shown in the picture, what you can do is in a small pan you put a bit of oil, whichever oil you have. I used coconut oil, olive oil, either one is fine, but coconut oil can go into a higher heating point. I think coconut oil is fine, but I'm sure olive oil or whatever the oil that you are using is fine. Just a bit of oil, about half a tablespoon of oil. Heat it up, but not to the point of smoking, okay? And then add a teaspoon of mustard seed and let it splutter a bit. You do not have to go all crazy with the spluttering of mustard seed. Let it splutter, and then when it splutters, you can add in some dried chili. As you can see, it's dried red chili pieces. So it's not the chili flakes. These are the pieces that you can easily see. If you have the whole dried chili, you can obviously cut it into pieces and put it in. Saute it for a little bit, and to that you can add about 2 to 3 small onions. These are like shallots pretty much. So it's because it has a really nice flavor. But if you do not have shallots, it's okay to have the other onion, but I would recommend having red onion if possible because of the flavor it gives. So you just add the onion and just saute it for a while until the onions gives this nice smell, and then it actually becomes a bit translucent as well. And when that happens, your tapioca is already cooked. Switch off the hob, and then what you can do is pour over the stuff that you have just sauteed. So the chili, the mustard seed, and the onion. Pour it over to the tapioca, and then stir them together, and voila! This is what you can eat. This is your dish. This is creamy tapioca that you can actually eat with rice. Actually, you can eat it by itself if you have a good, let's say you have a good beef or pork or whatever that you like, a stew. It goes so well with this one. So you do not actually have to have it with rice. I know I'm having carb with carb, but then that's how I've been having it since young. But you really do not have to do that. You can make this one because it's so creamy, super creamy. At the end, if you want to, just adjust the salt. If you really want to add more, it's up to you. You actually can have it with anything that you like. Meat stew goes so well on the side. And of course, you can make it spicier. There is another dish that I make with this one. Maybe I will share a picture of that in the community post. But again, I just wanted to share this with you. This is not what the channel is going to be about. Like I said, this is our food intermission until I get this clearance from YouTube for my Jurassic Park movie. I'm sorry that it is delayed. Hey ho, life moves on. Hopefully, things will be okay tomorrow. Until such time, I hope if you have the ingredients, give it a shot. Maybe you'll like it. Most likely you will like it because it's very creamy, so you do not have to worry about spices because some of you may not be crazy about spices, which I am. We eat a ton of chili actually. This I think can be anybody's cup of tea. So give it a shot. Let me know what you think about it. If you, I'm sure you do eat tapioca in different ways in your cultures. Please feel free to share your thoughts and comments down below. And thank you so much for being around. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. I had a lovely day eating this one. So until next time, have a good day.